What is going on, guys? This is the Club with the Man 1993, and I'm here live for my special Top 10 live stream of the week. Sorry, it is coming pretty late as it is almost Saturday morning, which means I am just 20 minutes away from officially being off my Lenten pop diet. But of course, that's another story for another day. But this is my Top 10 special of the week. Yes, we were doing WrestleMania specials for quite some time. Then last week I did my Superstar Shakeup predictions. So now we're back to just random topics here and there. And a recent topic suggested by my good friend Mark Johnson here on YouTube. I believe it was you who suggested this was the top 10 Shield moments. And even though this Sunday is the Shield's final chapter, yet I thought the Shield's final chapter, the one last time they were getting the band back together, was at Fastlane. Lies as always, WWE. But because of the most likely that Dean Ambrose seems that he will be gone by the end of this month. Like you hear that his contract is supposed to expire by the end of this month. So he'll be on live events till then. But so I thought it would be appropriate to list my top 10 Shield moments of all time. Now I try to keep these, as focused on just moments when they were together as the Shield. Because let me just say this right now. The Shield obviously consists of three, where you love them or hate them, three of the best guys that have really set the tone for this decade in wrestling right now. This past decade, at the end of 2000, next year in 2020, when it's a whole new decade, in the 2020s, the 2010s, three people definitely set the tone for this generation. Well, this decade at least, and that is the Shield. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose. Three amazing, superstars, amazing wrestlers who came together and formed one of the biggest factions, in recent memory for sure. Of course, the original plan for the Shield was supposed to be Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Chris Hero, also known as now Cassius Ohno, that CM Punk wanted for the Shield, since he was kind of the one who, formed the Shield. But instead they had Roman Reigns come up instead of Ohno, which, it's fine. Yes, we all know how Roman Reigns has been booked as one of the more polarized figures, but still, gotta give the man credit. He still is talented, in my opinion. So in my opinion, definitely one of the best factions. And this Sunday, even though, once again, I swore it was at Fastlane that it was going to be the Shield's final ride, apparently the final chapter is going to be this Sunday on the WWE Network on a special at 9:30. Don't know if I'll be watching or not, though, because I'm going to be spending time with my family. Because, hey, guess what, everybody? It's Easter weekend. So happy Easter also, if I didn't mention, unless you guys don't celebrate Easter, but still happy Easter to everyone, of course, in the live chat, and watching this live later. I'll just get to you guys shortly. But so yeah, we're going to focus on my list of my top 10 Shield moments. Has a couple little, moments where they turned on each other, a couple of feuds. Don't really have really any segments on here. And a couple of pay-per-view moments, of course, as well, that I want to talk about also. All these are while they were together as the Shield. One of them is, though, while they were singles competitors, but it was because of what happened with this moment that I wanted to share that, I thought was definitely very, special. Again, since these are three guys who really, epitomized, were some of the biggest names in this past, 10 years. And yes, it is sad seeing Dean Ambrose go, but he's doing what he feels is best for him. I respect the hell out of him for doing that. So I wish him the best of luck, of course, since it looks like he is leaving for sure. And we'll see what happens. So before we get started, as always, check the live chat. Always see who we got here. Let's see here. Robbie says the Shield's helicopter entrance the night they faced Undertaker and Team Hell No in 2013. That entrance was awesome. Inspired Charlotte's WrestleMania 35 entrance this year. Wow, I actually didn't even think of putting that on the list. But that's a great suggestion, Robbie. And by the way, in case anybody did not see my tweet, so earlier today I was just chilling with my mom, dying eggs for Easter because, I'm 25 years old, but hey, I love traditions. I had to keep them going, even though my sister's not home. But I was just talking to my mom about random crowd, and I don't know how we started talking about Barney. And I said, yeah, recently there's been this wrestler who I think talks like Barney, and I like to mock him on my stream. She's like, oh, really? So I literally pulled up the one clip I can find, Bobby Lashley going, Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. I played it to my mom, and she flat out agreed with me. They're like, does he sound like Barney? And yeah. So my mother's on my side with Sammy. It's good to see you again, buddy. Which I'll be saying every single week. I'll be tweeting every single week now since Sami Zayn is back. I got to be that troll. Of course, I'm sure if I keep tagging Sami Zayn will eventually block me because I'm a fan, I'm a critic, and I'm a poison, and my life sucks apparently because we just do nothing but criticize everything he does. But of course, I had to throw that out there. But yeah, thank you for subbing to live chat, Robbie. What's up, Mark? Robbie also said Shield vs. New Survivor Series 2017, great opener and pretty underrated. For sure, agreed. What's up, Tyler? The best Shield moment was the feud with Evolution. That's a good pick as well. The best moment was when they were all champions at the same time. Ooh, very nice one. Another best moment is their debut. Exaggerated crown jewel for sure. We don't want to talk about that show though here. Best moment when all three held the WWE Championship. Yes, for sure. The Shield reunion at Payback 2015 when a triple powerbomb Randy Orton to the announce table. That's actually a regular honorable mention. I didn't think of that one. That was the first time, of course, all three of them were involved in a match together when they were all against each other, but it was a fatal four-way because Randy Orton was also involved in that match. They, of course, did have the triple threat match we want to see between them at Battleground in 2016, which it was a good match. Could have been better, though. And I feel that feud could have been just a little bit better because that was when Roman Reigns had been suspended due to his violating the wellness policy. So he missed just about all the build pretty much for that. Let me see here. The brief shooting at Payback. Oh, yeah, right. That Seth beat the Beast of 835, which is good. The Shield Triple Threat Battleground was awesome. Again, it was still a good match, but I feel it could have been just a little bit better if they would have had Roman around to be involved in the build. I feel, but it was still a great match. That's one match I would like to see them do again because I know it was good, but I know it could be even better though. Best moment, the Wyatt family feud. We'll definitely talk about that one at some point too, Mark. But guys, thank you for your stuff in the live chat. And again, I'll do 10 to 6 as always. Check the live chat again, and then I'm checking out for my Easter break. Although I'll have a couple, odds and ends being uploaded afterwards and over the weekend as well. But when I get the time, because I'm spending my week with my family for Easter. And then Monday, though, for Raw, I will not be reviewing Raw right away because I'm going to go visit my friends. I usually go visit. I visit once a month. So I will be reviewing Raw on Monday night, but it will be later because, I want to see my buddies. But anyways, let us go with this top 10 list for my top 10 Shield moments of all time. Number 10 is the last time one of these three turned on the other. And even though, of course, it ended up being a really terrible run for him, I still really like the moment that happened because WWE trying to pull off a shocking heel turn, a turn that I felt they were making it way too obvious for how many weeks. They definitely got me with this one. My number 10 is when Dean Ambrose turned heel on Seth Rollins. Now, I conclude this one again. I don't want to include moments like they were just single stars. I want to include moments they were so involved with the show. And there's one on this list is when they weren't together. This is while they were still together. So technically, the Shield was still together when this happened because this was the night, of course, last October 22nd, 2018, when Roman Reigns announced that he had been his leukemia had returned and he had relinquished the Universal Championship. And then, of course, Rollins and Ambrose had a match against McIntyre and Ziggler, the Raw Tag Team Champions, and they're dedicating their match towards their brother, Roman Reigns. And then, of course, they had the match. It's a pretty good match, and Rollins and Ambrose won. Now, here's the thing again. I'll probably honest and say, of all the runs the Shield has had together, 2018 is probably my least favorite. Because that run was basically, the WWE kissing our asses with Roman Reigns, Universal title run. If they were involved with the right stable, though, it wouldn't be as bad. But because of the fact that it involved having to turn Braun Strowman heel after all he did was try to cash in, and the Shield stopped him from doing so. Like, how is Braun Strowman the heel here? Like again, it made that made no sense. And to me, it just made it just made it look like Vince was forcing us into something that we just didn't want to get behind, basically. So I will be flat honest and say the 2018 Shield run was probably my least favorite run of any run that the Shield had in WWE for sure. And for weeks, they're making it way too obvious that Ambrose was eventually going to turn on Seth. I mean, we all knew the time was coming, but we knew that at some point Ambrose was going to be turning on Seth and Roman. But this got me big time because they won the tag titles. And during this moment, I remember I wasn't even thinking about Ambrose turning at all. I was more so thinking about, okay, when was the last time someone's won, both the mid-card title and a tag title? I'm like, let me look that up. I was looking down my phone. Then I looked up and I see Dean Ambrose hitting Seth Rollins with Dirty, and I'm like, what? Wait, what? Whoa, what? Like, they're going to flat out go with this tonight? And you hear Michael Cole screaming out, not tonight! Not on this night! And I liked how they did it because you could see Ambrose, hitting Rollins. And at first, he's like, what the hell is that? I thought first he had a psychological, like, dang, well, what did I just do there? And then he just snapped. Like, you saw like the dark side just open up in him, like the long-awaited heel turn that he needed. Because, Ambrose had his great moments as a babyface. Don't get me wrong. Ambrose as a babyface was not a failure. The problem was, though, Ambrose as a heel had so much more to offer to make him an even bigger star than he already was in the WWE, and the WWE just did not book him right. Which, of course, caused, this heel turn to flunder, and then now, of course, he wants out. But the way they pulled off this heel turn just, shocked the hell out of me, because, again, they made this way too obvious that if they would have just kept going with the flow, Ambrose turning heel would have probably gotten the crowd to cheer him. Because, they're happy that WWE is actually, pulling this off. But WWE did this in a way to actually give Ambrose nuclear heat that could have worked if they booked him right. And not as, a germaphobe who just, again, stuck to way too much comedy. Dean Ambrose as a heel does not need comedy all the time. As a face, yeah, him having comedy is all right, but I guess it's a little corny. But as a heel, no. Vince McMahon is so obsessed with the comedy aspect that he overdoes it. And that's the reason why Dean Ambrose heel turn, of course, flundered. But the way they pulled it off to actually get him heat, getting booed, was amazing. Like, I saw Tommaso Ciampa in Dean Ambrose that night when he turned heel. And it's just very unfortunate that, it just didn't work out. I mean, I kept thinking, if this, storyline of him leaving is just to, if it was, just a work, work with him backstage on, what exactly he wants out of a heel character. Because definitely, if he stay in WWE, he needs to be a heel. Again, he is destined to be, a main event, future Hall of Fame level type heel for sure. But WWE just did not book him right as a heel. And it's just very sad because I thought, no offense, last year at TLC, him and Rollins had just a standard match that should have had a stipulation to it. And because of that, to me, it was one of the worst matches of the year last year, in my opinion. One of the biggest letdowns for sure last year. But I still thought the way they wrote that heel turn was brilliant. I just wish it would have, capitalized and, gone on with, making this a great worthy heel run that Ambrose definitely needed. And, we would have, if that was the case, Ambrose would be world champion this year. No doubt about it. Ambrose would have had a run with the Universal title at some point this year. No doubt. But now, unfortunately, he's going to be taken off. I've heard AEW wants him. I heard he might be booking stuff for the Indies. I even heard the rumor he may be taking just 6 months off and coming back. So, again, I don't know what the future holds for Dean Ambrose. I just know that right now they're not going to be doing anything anytime soon unless he shocks the world or something in a few weeks. I'm not sure what the hell is going on here. But as of now, Dean Ambrose heel turn is my number 10 for my top 10 Shield moments of all time. So that is my number 10. Number 9, their mini feud with The Undertaker in 2013. This could be a little bit higher on the list also. Unfortunately, though, because they injured The Undertaker, though, on that double triple powerbomb, oh, whatever heck Roman said in that Fallout segment from WrestleMania 30. Again, just showing that Roman had just a lot of work with promos to the time. Again, he's gotten better. When you allow him to be from the heart, he honestly is awesome on the microphone. When you're scripting him, though, such as like, you are a sniveling little fool of sellout suffering succotash, son. Yeah, I know that was not easy to say. My brother over here, he's got donkey dongs for brains, son. Okay, school. What I'm trying to say is, I'm going to kick your ass. Anyways, but in 2013, around the time when the Shield was feuding, of course, with Team Hell No for the tag titles, they also kind of had something going on with, The Undertaker. And I believe, they did have a match with them with a 6-man tag. And they also, of course, had a match on SmackDown with Dean Ambrose and The Undertaker where they did like a triple power bomb on The Undertaker and, slammed through a table. Of course, at this time, the Shield had only been up on the main roster for like, let me see here, December, January, February, March, April, about 6 or 7 months. So they were still making their mark. Of course, this whole thing almost floundered when originally they were supposed to lose the team of John Cena, Ryback, and Sheamus at Elimination Chamber because they wanted Cena to get the pinfall victory since he's going into WrestleMania as the number one contender. Screw that. But luckily that got fixed. If not, that would have been pointless. And their matches at WrestleMania, they've had as a team not been terrible, but they've been what they all they need to be. But nothing like no 5-star classics or anything. But this is definitely them making a huge statement for sure with what they're able to work with. Now, originally, apparently I heard rumors that if The Undertaker did not get hurt, because apparently the Shield got pretty big heat for, injuring The Undertaker on that triple powerbomb. If that was not the case, apparently the plan was for the Shield and Brothers of Destruction at SummerSlam. Instead, though, we just got Dean Ambrose defending the United States Championship on the pre-show against Rob Van Dam. But still, it was, a mini feud that, definitely, raised the stakes up for this trio as well. And that is why it is my number 9 on my top 10 Shield moments. Number 8, their debut. Although the costume design was not that great for them on their debut. Of course, if you hear the podcast with Seth Rollins and Chris Jericho, and he talks about the Shield's debut, like they literally just brought about basically it was just like winging what they exactly were thinking of. Originally, of course, they wanted the debut at Hell in a Cell, but of course, instead they had the angle with Brad Max being the shoddy guest referee in one of the worst Hell in a Cell matches of all time, in my honest opinion. So they debuted at Survivor Series, interrupting the triple threat match between CM Punk, John Cena, and Ryback. Ryback had just hit the shell shock on Cena when the Shield break through and they start beating down on Ryback, already sending a message that these who they really are. And of course, they eventually triple powerbomb him through a table. But of course, the story I love that Rollins talks about how they got there. And they go to the wardrobe and they get, just regular black slacks. Okay. But instead of wearing the SWAT gear, they have just these plain old black turtlenecks. Like even when you watch it now, it's just like, why the hell would they get these guys who are supposed to be coming out there being some dangerous SWAT team? I just think comes out of the blue, attacks, then flees the scene basically. Like they're supposed to feel different Mystique, but why are they coming out wearing freaking turtlenecks? And they continue to love, and also originally they were supposed to come out with these actual riot-looking shields and whatnot. They said and I saw a photo of them online. They were just plain plastic shields that says "Shield" on them, and they had some other weapons there as well. So apparently they're getting ready to run out from the ramp they were at, and Vince sees them dressed up with doofuses holding all these weapons, and they're like, "What? You can't kick his ass by yourself?" And they slam down hell yeah, we can. So the thing is, he didn't go along with that. But yeah, at least they got out of the freaking turtlenecks for sure. That was just That was just weird. They look like, you're supposed to look like three, dangerous men coming out and like, just, wreak havoc, destroy everything, and then flee the scene, basically. Sneak in, sneak out, basically. And instead you have to come out with these weird looking turtlenecks. Okay, that's weird. But still, an impactful debut despite the costume design. Definitely set in the stage for, what's yet to come with these three guys. As I said before, these are three guys that were definitely, going to set the stage and be three of the biggest names for sure in the company in this decade. So that's why their debut to me is my number 8 when they debuted at Survivor Series 2012. Number 7 is a match that Robbie actually mentioned in the live chat before, a match that I really enjoyed. Was the opener to Survivor Series 2017, The Shield and The New Day. Obviously, when The Shield first reunited in 2017, they were supposed to have a 5-on-3 TLC match at TLC. Unfortunately, they had to change because, Roman Reigns got sick with the mumps. He was out for about a month. So instead, he was replaced by Kurt Angle, which, okay, it was cool seeing Kurt back in the ring for the first time in WWE in like 11 years, but same time, it kind of made this match look a little pointless, if you know what I mean. Like it kind of didn't make it feel as special. Because I remember the match happening, like, yes, it was physical. There was a lot of stuff going on, but at the same time, it just didn't have a good flow to it. So something was off. I remember that's why I thought it was more just a decent match. Yeah, wrestling wise was fun, but what story were they trying to tell you? It just looked like, Kurt Angle was out there just, being a third wheel, and Rollins and Ambrose were just getting their asses kicked all the time. But I knew the Shield run was not going to last too long. So I knew the eventual plan was going to be for Dean Ambrose to turn on Seth Rollins. I'd say either at like TLC or like Royal Rumble, like somewhere in there. Because the original plan was supposed to be Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 34, which would have been a pretty darn good match. And, who knows what would have happened since, Roman didn't win the title. But it could have said for maybe, Ambrose and Reigns to have a feud after WrestleMania 34. But unfortunately, of course, Dean Ambrose got injured with that tricep injury as he was dealing with it around this time. Again, he saw in his chronicle, he was hoping to, take a week off when he went to his honeymoon to Hawaii, but it didn't get any better while he was away. So that's why I could get taken care of. But this match with the New Day, I wanted to see one pay-per-view match with them in a 6-man tag. Because originally the only team I thought they hoped to do it with was the Miz Taraj. I'm like, okay, they're going to beat the crap out of the Miz and two guys who are basically jobbers. Which, no offense, I love Axel and Dallas, but they're doomed. And then of course, at first I thought it was going to be them and the Bar, and I'm like, okay, that's not too bad of an idea. But then of course they had adding Strowman, and then out of the blue, Kane came back. I'm like, okay, that's a shocker. Of course, it eventually led to Garbage Truck Strowman was wild on you, brother. And Strowman got thrown into a garbage truck, and he returned rising from the garbage. Still really corny, I thought, but this match, the Shield and New Day, I thought at first, maybe it was going to be a little bit of a crushed match, basically, because the Shield, was dominating the ring. I mean, not saying the New Day is not. The New Day is, but the New Day is more of a character gimmick. Like, they're not as good of wrestlers as the Shield. Although, again, don't get me wrong, Big E is great potential. Kofi Kingston, of course, the moment he just had, he still is amazing. And Xavier Woods, of course, has improved. He's still not my favorite wrestler, but he's definitely improved a lot. I definitely get taken a lot more seriously in the ring. But this is just a really good match with two of the best stables, within this past generation for sure. And I enjoyed it. It was a hot opener to a decent pay-per-view. I thought, well, start off good, but then that main event was still weird to me. But it was still not a bad show. 2017 Survivor Series 2017 was not that bad in my opinion. But this opener definitely was a pretty good match, and it was just a match to get the 6-man tag in, just bring back the memories for sure from when we first watched the show. Again, 2013, 2014, some of the best 6-man tag matches you will ever see for sure, thanks to these 3 men. And even, of course, even last year, I wasn't a fan of the stories being told with them and the War Dogs with Strowman, McIntyre, and Ziggler. They still put on some pretty good tag matches for 6-man tag matches for sure. And of course, also Ziggler, McIntyre, and Rollins and Ambrose had a tag team match of the year candidate at last year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Like, again, I think it came to either that or a tag title match with Mustache Mountain and Undisputed Era last July. Was my match, was my two finalists for tag team match of the year. That was another good match. It's an honorable mention there with that tag team match for sure. But yeah, gotta give the Shield and New Day though at Survivor Series 2017 credit for being a pretty good match. That's why it's number 7 on my list. Number 6, this year's Shield reunion. I know it was very brief, but to be honest, I felt them forming themselves back together, I felt was one of the smoother stories I felt since they formed back together. 2017 started off good with Rollins and Ambrose trying to get back on the same page. But then here's a problem I ran into this one. First off, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins basically just became BFFs like out of the blue in 2016. They had no storyline for Seth and Roman being able to work together again and trust each other again. Like there was no story at all. And then I liked when the Shield got back together in 2017, but what I hated was again, I hate when WWE constantly mentions, oh, the internet is swerving. Are the Shield going to get back together? They were saying that for weeks without just letting the story on TV tell itself. And the night they got back together, as I mentioned, yeah, there's rumors surfing around on the internet. The Shield's going to get back together. And Roman's like, who's saying anything about rumors? It was more so just like, everybody's talking, and the Shield go back together. Like, yep, we're back together. It didn't feel flat. But again, I just, because, the moment seeing them back together, I thought was pretty cool. But again, the WWE just didn't let the story on TV tell itself. They more so just, kept, pushing on, what's here on the internet. And I hate when they do that. I hate when they kind of, focus on the rumors on the internet rather than the story on the TV itself. So that's why it was one of things where I liked seeing the Shield back together in 2017, but I wish the build up to them getting back together would have worked better. Of course, 2018, yes, they were still all babyface at the time, but again, it was just not. It was not for a good reason because it even hurt Braun Strowman more in the long run. So again, it looked like the Shield was just Roman's cronies. This year, though, of course, with Roman Reigns returning from leukemia, and he's focused on just living life now. I mean, he would like to be champion again someday, but he's just getting him back to the level he needs to be. Basically, is the story right now. So one of the requests. The first request he had when he first came back was he wanted to get the band back together. Obviously, Ambrose said a lot of crap about Roman while he was gone. Him and Seth had their issues, and obviously, Seth had an issue trying to get back together. And it wasn't just, it seemed pretty clear, the Shield was going to get back together. With this being, the end of Ambrose's run in WWE for now. But I like how they still, didn't make it look so simple. It didn't, just push it in our faces that, you want this to happen, so it's going to happen. Like, again, they let the story on TV tell itself and not, just push our thoughts on the internet. Oh, everybody's saying they want the Shield back together. The Shield back together. The rumors of the Shield. Who's saying anything about rumors? We're back together. Like, I just, again, I felt like the way they reunited, for this last brief run, I felt was the smoothest way to go, in my honest opinion. And that is why the 2019 Shield reunion is my number 6 on this list. So far, my number 10 is Dean Ambrose's heel turn. Number 9 is the mini feud with The Undertaker in 2013. Number 8 is their main roster debut. Number 7 is their match The New Day at Survivor Series 2017. And number 6 is their 2019 reunion. Check the live chat, see what we got here. Let me see here. Let me see here. Seth should be Universal Champion at 2016. Or WrestleMania 36, maybe you're saying, Tyler. Dean should turn heel on Roman, not Seth. Either one. I am glad though that the heel turn only happened on one of them, because if it was just Dean just turning on the Shield like completely the other two completely, then it would not felt any different than him him and Rollins turning than Rollins did in 2014. And again, it wouldn't make another Shield reunion look almost impossible to do and make it feel old. Let's see here. Dean should beat Roman at TLC 2018, but Roman was not around. Rumor was Ambrose was supposed to challenge Roman for the Universal title at 35. I did hear that rumor also. Surprisingly, it didn't still go with it, in my opinion. I don't know why they didn't do it. He's very interested to see what's SmackDown in store for Roman. I'd rather take him versus Elias over him versus Corbin. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely agree for sure. I'm fine with Roman going to SmackDown. I mean, I would much rather seen him being this, greatest acquisition of all time than Brock, of course. Much rather Roman. Again, I'm fine with Roman being on SmackDown. I've been okay with how they booked him since he's come back. So we'll see where it goes. We know eventually within the next year he's going to be champion again. Again, all I ask is book the guy right and just don't book him away. WWE saying, screw you all. This is how we're doing it. That's all I ask. I respect the man. When booked right, he's talented. Just don't act like you're shoving him in our face. That's all I ask. I guess Roman made his kids watch Looney Tunes. Who knows? Maybe. If not for those illnesses, we would have gotten the Pumpkin King versus Bray Wyatt and drag. Yes, for sure. Again, there, Rob. I remember that from we were talking about 2017 or year in review. Man, that saved Finn Balor and definitely Finn Balor's career. Bray Wyatt is also dead in the water the way it was, but we'll see what happens when he comes back with this mysterious vignettes we're seeing for him. Have you seen the promo they cut before TLC 2012 where Ambrose said you can bring the table, the ladders, the chairs, and the Shield will bring the sword? I feel like I may have seen that. I'm not 100% sure, but that does sound like a line does sound familiar though, Robbie. Survivor Series 2017 was better than 2018. Here's the thing. If 2018 was not just a clean sweep of Raw, I'm sorry. It wasn't because SmackDown won the pre-show match, but guys, remember, that doesn't count. But if it wasn't for the results, Survivor Series actually was not too bad of a show. I actually liked Survivor Series, but again, if it wasn't for the results, it would have been better for sure. Why did we have Roman, AJ, and Ray be formed a new stable on SmackDown if AJ and Ray stay on SmackDown? I'm not sure what you mean there, Tyler. But thank you for sharing stuff in the live chat, guys. Let's get now to 5-1. Number 5 is one of the best matches from 2014, the Shield and the Wyatt family at Elimination Chamber was definitely their best match. They had, I think, 1 or 2 matches on Raw and SmackDown, I think, which were pretty good too, but man, this was a nice match happening. Again, I was still, in my first year as a wrestling fan, but immediately I already wanted to see a match between these two stables. 2 of the stables that, one did make a huge name and, wanted to be very successful. One, I would say, Harper, Rowan, and Bray Wyatt have been complete flubs, but definitely could have been so much better if, of course, Bray would have beaten John Cena at WrestleMania 30. Could beat him there, beat him at Extreme Rules, Cena could beat him at Payback. All would be fine. But nope, they what he had to do. But anyways, the Shield and Wyatt family match at Elimination Chamber 2014 was definitely one of the best matches of the year. 3 of which, 6 of the what should have been all 6 of them being 6 of the best, upcoming talents coming together and just colliding and flat out going to war. I don't think these 2 teams ever had like a stipulation. Like no holds barred could have been nice to add to this. TLC would have been awesome. Extreme Rules, for crying out loud. If they wanted to make this a 6-man Extreme Rules match, dang. Like what they did with Evolution, gets there shortly. What they did with them, they did that, of course, with, the Wyatt family. Of course, this was also around the time when they were slowly turning the stable, face, even though, of course, there was still this was still kind of, a heel on heel match. But this is the point where they were starting to turn the Shield face. All at the same time, also, they were starting to tease a Shield breakup. And I heard rumors there, and they may have gone a little earlier than expected, but Like Ambrose said, if they would have done it earlier than they did, it would have been just, Reigns breaking up with them, and then, Rollins and Ambrose, feuding with Los Matadores. Yeah, remember those guys? Remember Los Matadores? Don't remind me. Ole! Never mind. I'm not going to go there because I do not care. Didn't care for them at all. And I still don't care for them at all. But yet they somehow still have contracts with the WWE. Why? I don't know. But they just appear once the Blue Moon just says, as a jobber, team doesn't fill in, a tag team opportunity. I don't know. But Shield Wyatt family, Elimination Chamber 2014, one of the best matches for sure from 2014. That's why it is my number 5 on this list, my top 10 Shield moments of all time. Number 4 is their success at Extreme Rules 2013. Of course, that was the night where, Roman and Seth won the tag titles in their feud with Team Hell No. And also Dean Ambrose won the U.S. title off of Kofi Kingston. Now, I will be real and say I wish they would have had Ambrose defend that U.S. title a little more often than he did. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. He was still winning matches while having the title. Unfortunately, though, the thing is that he barely defended on pay-per-view. Sometimes, but not that often. I didn't really get why that happened with that. But it was definitely a night that, they took another step again and getting gold around their waist, as obviously they needed to. They're going to become the most dominating stable, of course, in the WWE in general. But have you listed on here is their success at Extreme Rules 2013. Night the Shield won gold for the first time. So that is my number 4. Number 3, my favorite feud these people were involved with, of course. It was, of course, as Ambrose said, going off stage on their final act. Their best, going off on their hottest act. And that was their feud after WrestleMania 30 with Triple H. Oh, I'm sorry, with Evolution. I mean, I wanted to see matches with these guys and Triple H. Of course, all 3 of these guys have had matches with Triple H. All of them being new except for Ambrose. I still swore that match they had at that Roadblock special before WrestleMania 32, I really thought Ambrose won. Of course, unfortunately, Triple H had his foot underneath the rope. Oh, that was so disappointing, but it looked like Ambrose had him. I wanted him to win. I wanted him to hijack WrestleMania 32 for sure. But he came a short where Seth beat Triple H at a match, WrestleMania 33, that was fine. Again, the only problem I had in that match, it was just too long. And the match with him and Roman, of course, was the worst of the 3. I mean, that disappointed me for sure. It was just boring. Again, that match there, Roman and Triple H, was a dream match I had wanted to see since this feud happened. The Shield and Evolution. Night of WrestleMania 30, when the Shield, completely, officially, turned on. Because even though, they had already turned face, they were still showing some loyalty to some members of the Authority. This is the night they pretty much said, no one tells us what to do. We're done listening to you. And, this was obviously the start of, okay, within the next year, these are the 3 guys that are going to be on the rise. Usually at the Raw or SmackDown WrestleMania, you're usually supposed to tell some story that, these guys are going to be on the rise for this coming year. We had that in 2016 with AJ Styles. We had it in 2014 with The Shield. 2015, I can't think of anybody. And a few other names, of course, here and there for other Raw WrestleMania. But that, of course, was the moment saying the fall this coming year was going to be a year for the Shield. And of course, it was, as all 3 of them, definitely rose as single stars. But of course, this feud with Evolution was just a way of getting these guys, like 3 of the most liked guys in this company, at their hottest. Like at this point, these guys were just killing people. Again, they literally squashed Kane and New Age Outlaws at WrestleMania 30. And you know what? Even though it was just a match that felt like it was what it was, the Shield looked like, like nobody could stop them. Like nobody could touch them and make them look weak at all. They were so strong that I actually liked that match they had at WrestleMania 30 because it was just exactly what it needed to be. Them just plowing through them in 3 minutes. And it was perfect. And these matches with Evolution I thought were great. Of course, the first one was just a 6-man tag. The second one was a no-holds-barred elimination match that was pretty awesome. But, man, this would have been like an Extreme Rules match or whatnot. But, again, as Dean Ambrose said, it was basically, them going out on their hottest act. You want to go off on your highest, walk off stage on your highest note, and that's exactly what happened. because number 3 is a Shield and Evolution, and 2 really great 6-man tag matches. But of course, led to the shocker the night after, the second one, after the clean sweep. Number 2, in my opinion, one of the best heel turns in history, or at least within this era. My number 2 is when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield on June 2nd, 2014. I was shocked. Well, here's the thing. We all knew at some point the Shield was going to break up. Those 3, were making names for themselves already, but it was close to the time where those 3 were ready to, go off and be single stars and literally just, run this show as they have for the most part. Even though, of course, they've been involved in some decisions that, we've not been happy about. This is definitely a time where 3 of the best wrestlers, were ready to move on to their own. And my thing was the thing that shocked me about this was, well, first off, they played it off really well, having the Shield be so dominating that they dominated a legendary future Hall of Fame stable in Evolution. You think, they're at their hottest act, it's going good. You feel at first, they're going to stick together and just keep, taking people out and whatnot. But then, of course, at the beginning of the night, Batista quits. And then, of course, at first, because I remember they came out because they were supposed to have a main event match with Randy Orton and Roman Reigns. But then Triple H comes out and says that there's always a plan B and whatnot. And I remember Seth was holding a chair in his hand. And he's going back to swim. I'm like, oh, maybe he thinks they're going to be getting in. He's just winding up. But all of a sudden, he slams Roman in the back with that chair. And I'm like, these guys are just winning. Like, why are they breaking up now? And the other shocker, too, was I feel that Seth was the last of the 3 that I thought was going to turn. I could have seen Dean Ambrose turning on them because of his lunatic character. I could have seen Roman Reigns being the one to turn on them because, again, he's, was the muscle of the Shield, and he obviously, looks like more of a heel than a babyface. But ended up being Seth Rollins. The architect of the Shield bought into the evolution of Seth Rollins. He bought into the authority. It was a shocking move for sure that, again, they kept hitting very well. This was about to happen. Again, I will not forget, I sat on my couch, my jaw dropped big time when it was Seth. Again, I really thought I didn't think it was going to be Seth. And of course, also rumors have it that apparently Seth was supposed to be the guy at first and not Roman. But I guess it stopped because, Seth didn't want to. I guess there's rumors that there was one point they wanted Seth to go out there and basically squash Kofi Kingston, and he refused to squash Kofi. So because that, they basically made Roman Reigns, the guy. And of course, every time I say the guy, I think of, that moment from the Hall of Fame ceremony in 2017 where they're booing Roman Reigns, and he's like, the guy. And you see Sami Zayn peek around the corner with that awkward looking smile on his face, like, hi, Sammy. How you doing today, buddy? Sammy, it's good to see you again, buddy. Nope, sorry, I did it. But yeah, the Rollins heel turn, one of the best in history for sure. And that's why, of course, is my number 2 Shield moment of all time. My number 1 is a moment that when the Shield were not together as a unit, but as it was a big night for them as single stars. Of course, honorable mention, of course, definitely their match at Battleground when there was the triple threat match between the 3 of them, which, again, I thought was great, but I felt could have been just a little bit better. And, of course, part of that was because Roman Reigns was not involved in the build for that because of his suspension. So I would have loved to see them try to do that one more time, and it would have been even better, I felt. But than it was. Again, it was still great, but it would have been even better. But let's go back to a month for Battleground. My number 1 moment involving the Shield was the main event of Money in the Bank 2016. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This was Rollins getting his rematch after of course, he returned from his injury for being out for 7 months. Now, of course, there's rumors have it that if Roman didn't get suspended, he was going to be keeping the championship and going into Raw as the WWE champion. The Universal title was supposed to go to SmackDown, where AJ Styles would have been the first person to win that. And there was rumors of still that they were still considering turning Roman heel at this time. They could have still done it when coming back from a suspension, but nope, they didn't do that. But this night was still special because Roman Reigns went into the main event as champion. Seth Rollins beat Roman clean to win the title back. which made Rollins look pretty good. And then, of course, an hour earlier, Ambrose had won Money in the Bank. The only Shield member yet to not win Money in the Bank. And I remember when Ambrose's music hit, and just like about a week and a half earlier, I had hurt my knee. Like I had hyperextended my knee at a trampoline park. And I was still being, cautious on it when I didn't want to, doing some movements that will definitely, twist again, and I didn't want to hurt it, aggravate it again. But I remember as soon as Ambrose's music hit, I like popped out of my chair and I just like jumped. And I somehow did not land awkwardly on my knee again because it was still a little sensitive at the time from the hyperextension. But I just like popped big time. I'm just like, they're going to finally put the belt on Ambrose, aren't they? And of course, he attacks Rollins from behind. But I was also like, this. What if Roman turns heel here? Like, I thought this could have been a situation that didn't happen there. But of course, Ambrose, who had, faced Rollins, of course, the previous year in those two matches, they had for the title last year. The first one was at Elimination Chamber, where it looked like Ambrose won, but instead he did not win because I forgot. Again, I haven't watched the match in a while, but I forgot the reasons why. Of course, Ambrose being champion was overturned. And then, of course, they had a pretty good ladder match at Money in the Bank in 2015 also. But, of course, this is him, of course, getting his comeuppance on him for of course, turning on the Shield because because Ambrose had not won the feud. Whether it was in the fall of 2014 or in the summer of 2015 when he feuded for the title, he had lost the feud. Getting his comeuppance by hitting Money in the Bank on him. But, of course, that night, all three members of the Shield had held the world title, the biggest title in the company for sure. And again, three guys who definitely built the landscape, were empires of this decade, all held the title in one night. And of course, if it wasn't for the brand split, I was hoping we would have saved the triple threat till SummerSlam. We still got Battleground again. It was still a good match. I didn't say I didn't like it. I still thought it was a great match, but I felt like it was just a touch, a little bit better. And if Dean Ambrose ever does come back to WWE, I would hope they would, take one more shot at it and make it a WrestleMania main event. It for sure is a WrestleMania worthy main event. All three of these guys, are WrestleMania main event caliber material. Well, yes, we've seen Roman in there 4 times. Seth technically once because he cashed in the main event WrestleMania 31, but Dean's never been the main event WrestleMania 30. Never been a main event WrestleMania at all, period. But of course, we don't have that era though. But I had to leave this my number 1. It's a special night. All three of those guys definitely deserve that top spot when booked right, of course. And that's why all three of them being champion at Money in the Bank 2016 is my number 1 Shield moment of all time. Read the list one more time, check the live chat, and I check out of here because I'm getting tired and I have a lot to do this weekend with my family before the holiday. So first, go back to number 10, it's Dean Ambrose heel turn. Number 9 is their mini feud with The Undertaker in 2013. Number 8 is their debut at Survivor Series 2012. Number 7, them versus New Day at Survivor Series 2017. Number 6, their 2019 reunion. Number 5, their match of the Wyatt family, Elimination Chamber 2014. Number 4, what they accomplished at Extreme Rules 2013. Reigns and Rollins win the tag titles, Ambrose getting the U.S. title. Number 3, their feud with Evolution 2014. Still one of my favorite feuds of all time for sure. Number 2 is Seth Rollins turning on the Shield on June 2nd, 2014. And number 1, all three of them win the title at Money in the Bank in 2016. And again, I know that was not while they were together as a unit, but, it was still a moment that I felt could not be passed up to share on this list for sure. And those guys are my top 10 moments involved in the Shield of all time, in my opinion. Let me check my live chat one more time before I check out. And let me see what we got here. I met the Shield 2.0. I've heard rumors also. I've heard also that there have been rumors maybe of a new faction with Almas, Mysterio, and Sin Cara. I don't know. It seems kind of weird. I'd rather keep Almas by himself right now. Backlash should be the pay-per-view after Mania for sure. And it could be a SmackDown show, I agree. Show's called TakeOver, right? I'm calling your ass out, Triple H. You Bet so, Robbie. The Shield break. Oh, what's up, Jay? The Shield breakup is my number one. It shocked everyone and ended up creating 3 of the top faces in the company for sure. Jay, good pick there. Seth and AJ is like Batman and Robin. Seth is Batman. AJ is Robin for sure. Can't wait to see that match. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen sometime in over next year. AJ Styles and Seth Rollins, again, my number one dream match right now. I can't wait. Rollins pinned Reigns to win his first world title. Reigns pinned Ambrose to win his first world title. That is true. Ambrose pinned Rollins to win his first world title. That is true. Yeah, I forgot about that. They've all pinned each other to win the world title. Of course, Ambrose did pin Reigns, which I felt was the right move to do in the triple threat match also, because Ambrose had already beaten Rollins before. But yeah, that was the right move to do. I remember the doctored interview Rollins did with Roman leading up to I believe the Shield triple threat. Yeah, I remember that. They like kind of like edited out like some interview segments with them and whatnot. It looked like Roman was crapping on Ambrose. Something that was good. Have a great night, Mike. Enjoy holiday. You too, Mark. Definitely thank you for joining live again. Thank you for the suggestion also. And Robbie also said the Rollins Ambrose segment in 2017 where Rollins dared Ambrose to hit him with the chair was great. Oh yeah, come on, hit me. Someone did suggest when Dean Ambrose returned from his injury, he would attack Seth Rollins with a chair, just like he did Rollins turn on them. I would have honestly loved to see that, playing on the continuity of this, saying that I actually did want to hit you with that chair, but I wanted to wait till the right moment for sure, something like that. That would have been epic, though. And Tyler said Rollins beat Brock at Mania was awesome. Oh, for sure. I didn't count that, though, as a Shield moment, though, because, again, this one I thought the Shield was no longer a thing anymore. But that's still a great honorable mention for sure, Tyler. And of course, since he's in the live chat, as always, guys, check out Robbie's channel as well. Make sure you check out his fantasy booking videos. Of course, when he gets his time, he'll be doing more as always. And if you like what you see, as always, please get hashtag Please Sign Robbie trending on Twitter. Again, send his videos and subscribe to his channel as well. Send his videos, of course, Triple H, Vince McMahon. Road Dogg's out of the seat now, so Robbie, we gotta get Vince out. We gotta get you in there now with Triple H or something. But check out Robbie's channel for sure. And yeah, guys, it's going to be it for me again. I hope you all have a great Easter. I do have some odds and ends going to be uploading this weekend with my video game stuff, baseball players, and more Adam Project, maybe Harry Potter. Just going to keep rolling, knocking some stuff out. Again, sometime this summer, I do want to go back and watch all the NXT pay-per-views for my next retro review series. I'm going to review the ones that I either haven't watched yet or ones I haven't reviewed yet on this channel. I mean, I'd like to watch the ones I reviewed already again sometime, but I wanted to say I've watched all the NXT pay-per-views and reviewed all the NXT pay-per-views. So that'll be, of course, the next retro project. I haven't done any retro reviews since I did SummerSlams last summer. So once I get my video, the video games stuff I'm doing right now, once I get that all cob where I want to be with that, then I'll definitely focus on that NXT retro series for sure. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole. Hell in a Cell. Takeover San Jose main event for sure. Keith Lee versus Dominic Dijakovic. Falls count anywhere. That match needs to happen. I thought it was to happen this past week, but it didn't. Time just died for that match. It's been 2 months, and we still haven't gotten it. Is Keith still injured or not? Oh, man, I can't wait to see that match for sure. Again, Robbie. But yeah, guys, again, so once again, hashtag Please Sign Robbie trend on Twitter. Next week, of course, I will be reviewing Raw, SmackDown, the usuals. But again, Raw review will be late on Monday because, again, I'm going to go visit my friends. I'm going to get my Money in the Bank card out also sometime next week also. Again, I'm not doing any card predictions for whatever the heck that Saudi Arabia show is going to be. We're not going to talk about anything involved in that show on this channel. Nothing at all, except for what happens on Raw and SmackDown. Not going to watch the show, not going to review the show. But Money in the Bank card predictions will be coming sometime next week. Again, let's get the views up. My WrestleMania card only got 100-some views. That's very disappointing in my opinion. My cards used to get a ton of views. Again, my most views I got on any video is 40,000 for my Roadblock getting the line card. How is that possible, guys? But let's hopefully get those views back up for my match cards. Roman's going to win the WWE title for sure. Oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless. Actually, now that you say it, I got to do it. Bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless. Bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory. Oh, who is he? Who's that champ I see? Rhetorical question, but we all know the answer. Keith Lee. Yeah, I had to, because Robbie got me fired up in the live chat. But all right, guys, I think I'm gonna check out here, guys. But again, my reviews next week, as usual. Again, Raw's gonna be a little bit late. We'll do another top 10 next week. Other odds and ends to come. Money in the Bank card breaks will come next week also, guys. So, guys, thank you again for joining me live. Once again, what are your top 10 Shield moments of all time? Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, to slap a like on the video, subscribe for more content come to my channel, and follow me on Twitter as well at TheManRyan3. Also, if you've not done so yet, please make sure to check out my first WrestleMania Experience documentary as well. The link to that is down in the description box down below. And with that, guys, I'll see you guys all in live my next Raw video. There'll definitely be some, odds and ends uploaded before then. But I'll see you guys live on Monday, late Monday night for Raw, for my live review. And yes, 12:35. And again, my Lent sacrifice is over, so I'm dying to go downstairs and take a drink of spray, and because I gave a pop for Lent. Yeah. So guys, hope you all have a great Easter. If you do celebrate it, spend time with your family, eat ham, eat whatever you guys want to do, and just have a blast. And eat eggs also. But until then, guys, check it out. Have a rest of your night. I'll see you guys all later. Peace out, everybody.